Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the studio. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of products. So, if you follow my channel at all, you know I am into everything outdoors: camping, fishing, hunting, kayaking, hiking, pretty much everything. So, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of hunting products today. Now, the one thing is, I do not like paying full retail price for any products, so I'm always looking for a bargain. And one of the things I do is I do duck hunt on occasion, and I've thought about decoys in the past. What I don't like about decoys is a lot of decoys nowadays are made out of foam. They're not the old wooden ones. The old wooden ones you're going to pay a fortune for, between $100 and $200 a decoy. The foam ones that come, I've looked at a few, and some of them are actually cheaply made. Plus, the other thing is, I don't really need many decoys. A lot of packs that you buy in the box, they're like 12 decoys. I'm only looking for maybe one or two to take with me on the ponds that I hunt. I'm not looking for like a 12 pack of decoys, so I don't want to spend $100 to $200. So, full disclaimer, these I bought with my own money. The decoys that we're going to look at range in price from about $35 to $50 depending on where you're going to buy them. I did get them at a discount where I work using my employee discount, so full disclosure with that. Nobody's paying me for this video. So what we're going to be taking a look at today is what's in this box behind me. I have not opened this yet. These are the cupped mallard decoy 6-pack. I figure a 6-pack is probably about the most that I need because of the fact that, like I said, I only want to take one or two decoys. Most of the time when I'm duck hunting small remote ponds that are only going to have a few ducks on it anyway. So, and also hunting from a kayak, I have limited room on what I can take with me. The other thing I'm going to take a first look at is Hidgon Outdoors for $20. Had these Battleship Texas style decoy rigs. It's 6-pack. These were about $20 where I work. Again, full disclaimer, I bought this with my own money. I did get them at a discount. I used my employee discount, but retail price on these is $20. And what the Battleship rigging is, these are weights that will anchor them to the bottom of a pond so they don't just drift off on you. So because this is a smaller package, let's get started at looking at this first. Let's go ahead and open these up. These here are said to be made so that they do not tangle. They have minimum weight on the bottom, so like I said, the weight should hit the bottom of the pond depending on how deep I'm at. Keep them from drifting off. They do come with a carabiner. So if I was to guess, it doesn't really say what the weight is on these, but I would guess this is probably equivalent to a 3 to 5 ounce saltwater sinker. Like I said, it does have the carabiner. It's supposed to keep them from tangling up. And this is supposed to be made so that it doesn't tangle. As you can see, it unwraps pretty easy. You know, they don't tangle. They are all separate, although they do have a zip tie on them, which I will have to take off. They do come with a clip to clip them to your decoy, which I'll show you in a minute, but these here look to be pretty good quality. One thing though is they look to be made with lead, so I don't know how that's all going to fare into the whole duck hunting where you're supposed to use steel shot. They don't want any lead in waterfowl hunting, but I figured, you know, these are not going to stay in the pond. These are going to be temporarily while I'm out hunting, and they're going to be removed. By the looks of the coated cable, and the fact of these swivels, I doubt this is pretty much going to rust and snap off and be left in the bottom of the pond. So that's a quick look at these. We'll set them up on a decoy in a minute. The carabiner, if I can get some of this wiring out of the way. The carabiner is padded, so if you were to have this on a chest strap or whatever, it would not hurt you or dig in, be pretty much very comfortable. So we'll look at these in 1 minute. Let's open up the box of the decoys themselves, because this is the part that I am really interested. What do these look like? Are they going to be any good? Are they going to be cheap? Like I said, there are 6 in here. A lot of the packs I looked at had 12, which is why I was not interested in them. Alright, so we got the top open. Trying to position this for you. So the way they're packaged, they are just laid in here in a plastic bag. There are supposed to be 6 drakes, which are males, and 6 hens, which are females. So I'll just go ahead and pull one of each out. So there'll be the drake, and here will be the hen. Alright, Drake, move you over there for a minute. Let's take a look at the hen first. Alright, so here we have the hen. And apologize for the camera angle a little bit. This is bigger than the setup that I have. So this is what the top looks like. Looks like it has a lot of detail. These feel more plastic than foam. Maybe a little bit smaller than lifelike, but they did add a lot of detail, including the black spot on the beak. See if I can show you the face. A lot of detail. Turn to the side. Again, a lot of detail. Doesn't look like the paint's going to stretch off, so I'm pretty happy with how these look like for what some would consider to be a budget decoy. Take a look at the underneath, the keel. Keel's plastic. It does have several holes on the bottom to put your rings. Your rigging has one in the front. This cup in the back is actually glued on, so you cannot fill it. I'm seeing glue in there. But all in all, I think I'm probably pretty happy with how this decoy works. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit here. I'll show you a little bit more. Probably not the best because you can see everything else on my desk, but a lot of attention to detail for a budget decoy. You got the white in the face, you got the blue in the back. So that's a look at the hen. Alright, let's take a look at the drake. Pull Mr. Drake out here. So again, it looks like a lot of attention to detail. There's the back. What the face and the front looks like. Again, underneath with the keel and the rigging. Again, detail on the face, including the black spot on the beak that a lot of your drakes have. So again, it's a little bit smaller than, let's say, your standard size duck. But I think these will probably work. Okay, so I zoomed back in so that you can get a closer look at the detail on the drake. Not sure what the hole is in the back here for. Maybe, I don't know, to put your rigging a little bit different, especially when carrying them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and put the rigging on one of these. There we go. Alright, so I was able to get it through the hole. And they just clip on like that. So you can provide the weight in the front. Like I said, they do have other holes where you can provide the weight kind of more in the middle. One thing I am noticing though on these Hidgon swivels, so you see all these specks right here? This is actually the paint coming off of the swivel portion on this rigging. So I'm not sure if that's going to cause it to rust in the future or not. That's something I probably don't like. I'm probably sure it's not a real big deal, but it's kind of just a thought. I mean, this is $20 rigging. This is not like your most expensive. This is what it would look like set up in the water. This spot here should be below the surface where the duck will not see it. I've got the rigging hooked up. It does have a handle, like I said. It does have the loop that you can put the carabiner on to carry them all at once. And the way this actually works is this pot here would be dragging on the bottom or below the surface of your pond so that they don't actually float off. Truthfully, when you're duck hunting, you're going to be in shallower water anyways. You're not going to be out in the middle of the lake, so this should stay on the bottom of the pond and then kind of allow them to float around and look like they're swimming naturally in the, you know, if you have a breeze, but then keep them from totally floating off away from you. So I kind of like these, you know, like I said, with some of those flakes coming off. Hopefully this is made of a material that it will not rust in the future. But yeah, I mean, for a budget setup, so if you were looking at buying these and buying them where I work, like I said, it's between $38. I've seen them advertised online between about $45 to $50. So we're just going to use the round cost of $50, which was the retail price where I work. Like I said, I did get these at a discount, and also the rigging was $20 where I work. Like I said, I also got them at my employee discount. But for $70 as opposed to $100 to $200, I've seen Decoys go as high as $300 for the foam ones. This is plastic, and I've seen them go as high as $100 to $500 for the real heavy-duty old-fashioned wood ones. I think probably by the looks of them, they are a great value. They do look pretty much realistic. They did pay attention to the details, so I kind of like them. The only thing is, I am not sure about this glued on cap on the back. Pretty much thought you could probably fill these up with sand, but this is actually glued on, so you would actually ruin it taking it off. So here they are. They're all strung up on the carabiner. Totally made not to tangle. Easy to carry. Clip this to your kayak to tow them out there. Then you can go ahead and set them up into position. We'll take these out and see how they do. Okay, so the first test about just carelessly carrying these and just throwing them in. As you can see, the cable did kink a little bit. I'm sure that'll probably happen more and more over time. I was kind of able to straighten it, but as you can see, it's still got a little bit of a bend. They did not tangle. Sorry for the mess, but it is fishing season. A lot of my fishing gear does get carried along with me. Again, got a slight bend there. So I'm sure that'll probably happen more and more over time. Just something to be aware of. I can straighten it out a little bit. Just don't want to do that too much because you don't want your cabling breaking on that. Let's get down to the pond and see how these float in the water. All right, well, I'm at my local boat launch, and as you can see, it's another cloudy day. It's the way this summer has been. It's been pretty much cloudy and rainy all summer, but at least it's not raining right now, and the lake is actually pretty calm, and it's a cool 70 degrees right now and no humidity, which is good. As you can see, we got feathers down, which means there is duck activity out here. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of ducks out there. So in testing these out, I am going to do two types of testing. I'm going to do the proper way where you actually just set these down, and also I am going to do the lazy hunter way, where some people just throw these in the water. Haven't fished this pond this summer, but probably going to get the kayak out here and fish it shortly. So let me go ahead and get these set up. All right, so the first one I'm going to take, and we're going to set it down how you're supposed to set it down. Go into a little bit deeper water here. And as you can see, it does float upright. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom, but there's the weight. And it is kind of floating around, mimicking that of a real duck. Let's get some wave action going. So now is going to be the total lazy hunter way, because I want to see if this is actually going to land like it should. And it did. Let's get the mallet, the hen out, and we got the drake out. So go ahead, set it down. Looks pretty good. Go ahead, do the lazy hunter way. Landed straight up, which is good. Kind of both look good together. Kind of look like real ducks. Too bad there's no ducks in the immediate area, because I would love to see how they interact. Kind of look good sitting there. And just film this real quick. As you can see, they're actually turning. Kind of look like almost real ducks, kind of turn and swim around as the wind hits them. Even though we don't got much of a wind today, we just got pretty much a breeze. But I think, as calm as this lake is, I think I'm going to take a few casts while I'm here. So the first river I went to, the water was just way too deep from that boat launch area. I just stepped in and I was up to my knees with like the first step. The other thing is, there wasn't much of a current. It was just kind of a lazy, still river. So I'm going to head down to a stream that flows off a local trout fishing pond. There are actually some geese on the pond, so there's 3 geese out there, and geese hate ducks. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to set these up and see if we get any interaction, but I'm going to go ahead also down to the stream that flows from the upper pond. That water is moving. Hopefully it's not too deep. The other thing is, they have not cut the grass in here in a while. It's midsummer, so there's no trout being stocked, nobody fishing this. Water's too warm to support trout. Actually, may or may not be able to set these ducks down in the pond because there is a lot of lily pads. I did not realize how much lily pads actually grow up in this pond in the summertime. I usually don't come here end of July anyway, so like I said, the water is very warm to support any type of trout this time of year, so they don't stock it. Blue heron's being a little boisterous this morning. So there's the 2 mallards floating in place on the edge of a pond like they normally would. Looks kind of natural, I guess. Alright, let's see what happens. Alrighty, well, it's been a little while. The geese are being totally lazy. They don't even care right now. They're just kind of hanging out. They don't even care that there's any ducks right now. Alrighty, so we're in the stream, and with this being a flowing stream, this water is actually a lot colder coming off of that top river and that top pond than what the actual pond feels like. So as you can see, we got some current. So I'm going to go ahead, set these down here. Because I know a lot of you duck hunters like rivers, as some mallards will be in the river systems. So kind of set this down here, see what they look like. Kind of swimming around looking like real ducks. Most of your ducks will be in the calmer area anyways. They won't be in the actual rail flowing part, but this is a kind of a calmer section. So I went ahead and moved about more in the current now. Show you kind of what they look like moving around. The hen is hitting part of the current where kind of looks like it's actually doing some swimming. Okay, now the drake is on the move. Kind of almost looks like they're swimming upriver. Kind of got that natural movement to them. So I went ahead and moved them out to a little bit more of a quicker current. It looks like they're swimming around. Now they're moved out to the center of the little stream where there's a lot of current. Stream is kind of making them huddle up together. There we go. So yeah, the way this way the stream is flowing so heavy, they're not really being separated. They're just kind of huddling up. Let's see if I can move this one over a little more. All right, now I got them spaced out a little bit more. I mean, they do look like they're swimming upstream. Kind of doing that turning pattern as you would see most ducks do, because a lot of ducks don't swim straight upstream. They'll kind of like wave back and forth like these are doing. Especially the riffle that the hen is in right now. Here's kind of an edge of the stream look. Yeah, they were kind of hugging along the bank. Like I said, the ducks would not be in that real fast flowing water up there, or the real fast water that you would see over there. You know, this is kind of more of a true situation here where they would actually hang out at. So yeah, they look good for you river hunters. You know, they got that side to side turning kind of natural movement that the ducks do. Alrighty, well, that's going to wrap up this video. That's the look at the cupped 6-pack mallard pack decoys, and also the Hidgon Battleship Rigging to provide the weight system. Really like the performance. Really like how they look. You know, for a plastic decoy, they're not foam, so they're not going to dent up like some of your cheaper foam ones. They are plastic. They're not the old-fashioned wood type, which eventually would split and crack on you. These are actually plastic, so they should last a long time. Doesn't seem like paint's going to be an issue, but we'll have to see over time. I mean, they provide realistic action when they get in a current. You know, you've seen them on a still pond now, you've seen them in a lake, and now you're actually seeing them in a river system. So, hope you like this video. I'll be doing some more gear reviews. Like I said, I'm not sponsored. I don't get paid for any of these gear reviews. Nobody's sending anything to me. This is all gear that I bought with my own money. All gear that I would use in my hunting situations. I'm going to be using these come fall, so we'll see how we do duck hunting once duck hunting rolls around. Still got about a month or two out from that, so there's going to be a lot more fishing videos. Hoping to do some camping, but yeah, it's another cloudy day and we're supposed to get some thunderstorms this afternoon. It's been a real rainy summer as contrast to last year. So we'll see you in the next video, and hope you enjoy these. Like and subscribe if you want to see more.